Hey guys, Michael here with the Daily Note, where we try to get the most out of our new Samsung Galaxy Note 8. So anyways, I've been spending a few days with Samsung DeX, and I've been trying to understand what this product is and what the intended use for it is. So as in terms of practicality and intended use, it is definitely not a laptop replacement, but what it actually is a desktop replacement for some, and a second computer to have on your desk, whether at work or at home, for others. If you think about the name DeX, right, it's almost like desk. So I think that's what Samsung is alluding to. So let's try to think of this as a portable device. And when you look at it, it actually looks very portable. But if you think about the practical use for it, you need a monitor, you need an HDMI cable, you need a keyboard, and you need to also take this DeX dock. Those are all additional things you need to take instead of a laptop. And of course, if you don't own a laptop or your laptop is not really portable, then of course you could make any solution work if you're willing to go through the trouble. I mean, you've seen that guy who took a large computer, like a large iMac, on a train, right? We can't argue with him because maybe it was the best tool that he had or he needed at the time. But if you're looking for a best solution or its intended purpose, this is definitely not going to cut it when you need it at somewhere like Starbucks, right? You're not going to be plopping that monitor down and finding an additional power source for your monitor, right? Or if you need it on an airplane or train, and even at a hotel, you know, it just doesn't make sense. Although some hotels will give you that HDMI monitor and all you need to carry is a keyboard. But let's hope their monitor is new where it only has like VGA ports, right? So those are all things that unfortunately matters when you're trying to use this as a portable device. So I'm going to scratch this off the list as in terms of it being any kind of portable device, because your portable device is actually your smartphone, right? Now let's look at it as in terms of a desktop replacement or a second computer perspective. For a lot of people, and I was surprised to hear in the comments so many people doing this already, they kind of had like an old computer that they kind of wanted to replace and they just got this instead. And they seem to be very happy with it with just a few limitations. There's just some things that just don't run right, like Netflix. Unfortunately, during my unboxing of it, that happened to be one of the only apps that I tested, which seemed to be one of the only problems that people were having with it. But aside from that, you need to do some work on Microsoft Word, Excel, even PowerPoint, and you need to do your internet browsing, maybe watch some YouTube or some other videos, or look at pictures. It all works. And the app market is strong enough to where even if when you need specialized apps, even though they might be not as good as your desktop apps, you could probably get the job done. So it's a very capable working solution for people that do some light work and have some minimum requirements on a desktop PC. For people who need specialized apps, so I'm in that category. I use specialized applications that only seem to work on larger computers. So I use pretty much the entire Adobe suite of products. It's going to take a lot of time, probably like a decade, for Adobe to make those apps equal on Android than it is on the PC. But with that said, some apps run better on PC and some apps are better or only exist on mobile. And because I like gadgets and I actually like the thought of having two different computers on my desk, but even if I didn't, this actually is very small. And you could find some solutions to where you could try to minimize the amount of desk space required to have a second computer as DeX on your desktop. And one way that I'm going to do that is I have a monitor with two HDMI ports. I think that's important, right? If you don't, then you're going to need like a HDMI switch, or you're going to need a second monitor, which you might not mind having because the monitors are so cheap these days. And then as in terms of keyboard and mouse, I definitely do not want to have two sets of keyboard and mouse or mice on my desk because it just starts looking messy and unorganized. What I did was I ordered something called a USB switch, and it's going to be here in a couple of days, but you can look it up, and it's just a simple little box where you plug in your USB dongle, and you could just press a button where it links the wires up to either your PC or the Samsung DeX. So I'll show that on my channel for those who are interested. But that lets me keep just one keyboard and one mouse on my computer while I could access either computer at any time that I want. And I want to share that information before I convince too many people to go out and buy Samsung DeX. And assuming that this might be portable, but I don't think it is in any way. So anyways, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't yet. And I hope to see you in the next video. Thank you for watching.